Okay, so the task on the worksheet was about comparing DBpedia with another knowledge graph that we've briefly seen a few times, Wikidata. And please post your insights on the worksheet forum on Moodle. So what exactly is Wikidata? Let's go back to the timeline. Wikidata was started in 2012. And this is a project that was financed, still financed by the Wikimedia Foundation. So the same foundation that also finances Wikipedia, software, community development, and so on. And the idea of Wikidata is to have a wiki created, curated knowledge graph, knowledge base. So just like anybody can edit Wikipedia, anybody can edit Wikidata. So can enter an item and then create information for that item. So for example, there is an item about Concordia, this one you've seen already, and then there's various information in there. Before we go to the task here, maybe I'll just explain a little bit about the data model. So one thing that you've all seen already is that the URIs, the identifiers for an item, are these funny Q numbers. So there's an entry for the author Douglas Adams, and obviously he has the Q number 42. You have a description in multiple languages, aliases in different forms, and then you have statements about this entity. And here you can see how closely this is related to the RDF data models. We have properties and then values for these properties. Wikidata, well, let's step back a minute. So anybody can add a statement, and just like there's an edit interface in Wikipedia, anybody can also edit the information in there. And it goes through the same community-controlled quality process like Wikipedia. It also has a query interface where you can use Sparkle to query Wikidata. Maybe let's just go there. This is part of the worksheet task number 4. So on the main page, you can find the query service where you have a Sparkle interface to query Wikidata. Now, obviously, the properties, the vocabularies are slightly different. So far, you've learned a bit with how to work with DBpedia, and now you can get used a bit more to how to use Wikidata. So the exercise on the worksheet is about writing some queries, basically redoing a query you have done earlier for Concordia and DBpedia with Wikidata. It also helps to look at the examples that are available here. And one of the nice things that we'll explore a bit more in the lab exercises is that you have different ways of formatting the results. So for example, you can have a query about cats, very important, and you can also retrieve things like images together with the query results. So you don't just have the raw, boring looking table format. You can have various graphical ways of presenting the data. And for example, embedding the results directly into your own application. So Wikidata is another important knowledge base that you can access online. And especially over the last couple of years, it has grown tremendously and it has improved with lots of cross links between the Wikidata knowledge graph and other knowledge graphs like DBpedia, but also other resources on the linked Open Data Cloud. Maybe just to explain what the motivation for creating Wikidata in the first place is. So one of the goals is to make it easier to manage structured data in Wikipedia. Let's go back to what I talked about earlier. You know all of these info boxes in Wikipedia with structured information like the population. And in Wikipedia, this is all managed manually. So if somebody wants to update that the city now has one person more or less, somebody has to go there, edit the page, and change the content. And not only that, this info box information is maintained separately for every single language version. So there's information that's obviously different in different language Wikipedias, but structured information like geographical information about the city, how many people are living there, this is nothing that's really different for different language versions. But still, it has to be updated manually in every single language Wikipedia for the structured content. So one of the ideas for Wikidata is that you can have a knowledge base that you can embed in Wikipedia. And then basically, when you look at the Wikipedia page, some of the information is not manually entered and maintained by humans. It is automatically queried and inserted in the page from Wikidata. At the moment, the content that's automatically inserted in many places is this these cross-language links and embedding of other information. It depends a bit on the language version of the Wikipedia. So these are not yet fully integrated. This is still a process that's going on, but that's one of the motivations. But apart from Wikipedia, Wikidata has become an important knowledge base for other applications. Just like lots of people use DBpedia for all kinds of things, people now are using Wikidata for more and more applications. Okay, so much for the background and explanation on Wikidata. Please try to write a query on the worksheet, and then I'll see you in the next lecture part.